Hello people, this is Self-Tuts, and in this video we'll learn that how we can use ChatGPT to create a Node.js to-do application. So you must have seen some of the to-dos application, or in your software career you must have built some of the to-dos application, but when you write an application it is you who write the entire logic. But here what we are going to do is we'll delegate this task to ChatGPT, which is the artificial intelligence chatbot, and it will write code for us, and we'll just use that code and we will run that code to basically create our application. So what we'll be doing is a Node.js application will be created. It will have get APIs, create APIs, and basically delete APIs with a database support. So we'll be using MySQL database, and let's see how that application gets created. Before starting, let us see some of the tools which are available in the market which can help you to write code, like it will assist you to write the code. One of the tool is the GitHub Copilot, which was released in the year 2021. So this was released by the GitHub team, and what it does, it basically suggests codes and entire functions in real time right from your editor. So you can install this GitHub Copilot plugin in your IDE, let's say your IntelliJ IDE or VS Code IDE, and using some of the commands you can generate code. Let's say you want to write a Fibonacci code to generate the Fibonacci number. So that will suggest you some of the codes, and basically you can copy paste it and use it. But this GitHub Copilot is not able to create full application on your own. Like you will not be able to create a full-fledged application. Let's say you want to create a to-do application. So this GitHub Copilot will not be able to generate the whole application. It can mostly generate like real-time functions, or let's say it can suggest some of the code changes, but not the full application. So here comes the ChatGPT, which is basically called as Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer AI chatbot. Background of this is like it has been fed on a large data set, let's say terabytes of data, and with multiple parameters, and using that whole learning or creating of that model, it gives you the output whatever you want. So you just say it to do something, let's say write an email, or let's say create some code, and it will basically output you those things. It has the ability to create full application, and we'll test it, we'll try it in this video. So what we are going to do is we are going to give some commands to the ChatGPT, and what we'll do, we'll say create a to-do app in Node.js Express, then please add MySQL database for saving in the to-dos app, and finally add a delete API. So you can see that I'll just give these commands to the ChatGPT bot, and what it will do, it will give you a full-fledged Node.js application. We'll copy that whole application in our WebStorm application or WebStorm IDE, and we'll try to run it also and create some of the to-dos that we want to do. So let's go to our browser here, and in the browser what I'm going to do, I'm going to type ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a tool from the OpenAI people. So OpenAI is a company, so you can see openai.com, and here you can see ChatGPT. So for trying it, you can just click here, try it, and you need to create an account first if you are a new user, but I already have an account. I am logged in here, you can see, and this is the landing page. So here you can see that these are some of the examples which you can write, and it will give you the desired result. So let's go to our slide, and what we want to do, we want to give this command to our ChatGPT, like create to-do app in Node.js Express.js. So I'll say create to-do app in Node.js Express. So I'm just giving this simple command, which is a simple English language, and it will basically generate the whole code. So let's see the beauty. So it is saying, sure, I can give you an example. Here you can create a basic to-do app. It is giving you step-by-step command, like first you need to create a new directory, then you need to do the npm init, because in any Node.js project you do this npm init to create your project. Then we'll be installing our dependent libraries, Express and body parser, since we need some data to be passed. And then this is the command, like Express body parser. EJS is the templating engine. It creates the app, then it sets the view engine as EJS, it sets the body parser, then it creates this app.get command. And here you can see that it is just creating a in memory to-dos, like this is an array, and it will store the data. If you come here, you can see when we hit the base route, it basically redirects you to the base folder, which will serve you the details. And finally, this is the index homepage. So it is index.js, which can be used to basically create this HTML data, and it will give you this form where you can just use this method post command, and there will be a new to do label, and you can click on this add button to add your to dos. So see, I just gave this command create a to do app in Node.js, and it gave me the whole structure like how I can create this express to do app. Now if you see here, we can see that there is no database support, but we are going to create a to do application which has a database support. So the next command that I'm going to give is please add MySQL database for saving the to dos. So you can see the beauty that whenever I'll give this command, so what happens, the ChatGPT remembers my last command that I have given and the whole response that it has generated, and it will modify that. So let's write this command. It is saying please add MySQL database for saving the to dos. So you can write whatever you want saving the to dos. So it is like I am writing this text, but you can say please add MySQL database to that application, please add MongoDB support to this application, and ChatGPT will give you the desired response. Let's hit enter. And now it is saying what? Sure, here an updated version of the previous example. So see, it remembers the code that what was the last data that it has written, and now what it is going to do, it is going to give you the command like you need to install MySQL, and in the index file you need to require it, then you need to create the table. So see, it is giving you the SQL commands also, like you can create the table to store the text and the completed. So it's a to do application, so you can see a to do can be completed, it can be in pending state, so all those status things are also there. This is the MySQL connection, and then this is how you can connect, and then define a function to retrieve the to dos. Okay, define a function to add a new to do. Okay, and then in the get command what we are going to do is get to dos, and here is the to dos response dot render, and then this is the post, like how you can create a new to do. So it gets the list of to do from the request body, and it add the new to do, and there is a success callback. So this is one of the sample code. If you, next time if you give the same command, it will give you a different project, whole different project with, let's say, async await or anything. I can also write like please use async await, and it will change the code. So I have given this MySQL support to the code, but here if you see, still we don't have any delete command. We have just get delete API. We have only get and post. So let's add the third command, and that third command is what? Add delete API. So I'll say add delete API, and what it will do, it will basically say that sure, here's an example how you can add delete API to your to do application. So add in the, so it basically pinpoints you to that place where you need to add this delete API, and also it remembers that the last time we added a MySQL connection, so it is saying that okay, you need to use this command connection.query. In the above code, we are defining the new route that will handle based on the ID, and this is what is the new route. So this is the response that has been generated, and now let's try to copy paste it in our Node.js application, and we'll try to run it. So I'll open the WebStorm, which I basically use for creating my applications in Node.js. So it is starting up. I'll create a new project that will be Node.js, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the directory. So I am using Windows WSL, and here if you see, there is inside my home folder there is a workspace folder, and inside the workspace folder there is this Node.js. I can go here, I can create a new directory and say to do app Node.js and ChatGPT. So I'll hit enter. It is there. I'll do okay, and finally the node interpreter, what I'll select, I'll go and select my WSL interpreter. So this is irrespective of your working environment. This is just setting up the Node.js version and the npm, and I'll do create, and what it is going to do, it is going to open my WebStorm, and this is the project which is present here. I'll click here on the project, and you can see this is the to do application, and package.json is there. Okay, now let's go to the browser, and we can see that here it is saying npm init, because my project is already created, so I'm not going to write that step like npm init, because it will again initialize the application. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste this command. So I'll just click copy code, I'll come here on the terminal, and I'll hit install. So what it is going to do, it is going to install the express dependency and the body parser and the EJS. So it is getting installed. Next command is what? So if you want to understand what is Express, body parser and EJS, you can just read it. Express is a framework which we basically use to create the REST API. Body parser is a middleware which basically takes the input request body and basically parses it. EJS is the templating engine. So now it is saying create a new file name index.js in your project directory and import this content. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here, create new file, and I'll say index.js. It is created here. Just copy and paste it. I'll just do copy, and here I'm going to do paste. The next command that I'm going to do, create an instance of the Express app. So it is again saying it is in the same file Express, this one. So I'm going to do constant any Express. So because my ID, it has some intelligence, so it changes the code to make it more better. Then I'll use this command to set the EJS engine as the default templating engine. Then it is saying configure the app to use this body parser. So if you have created Node.js application, so you must have used these commands like app.use, which is basically onboarding a new middleware, and here it is the body parser middleware. Now we need to add what? We need to define a route to displace the to do app. So I'll just create copy, I'll add it here, app.get. Then we'll define the route to handle the form submission. I'll do copy and I'll do paste. Okay, so it is here, and then it is saying this will add a new to do in your to do list, and then it is asking me to create the index.js file, which will basically serve the front end. Create an index.js file in your project directory. So it is saying in the root directory only. So I'll just come here, new file, index.ejs is here, and I'll just do copy code. You can see that we don't find any place where we have written that we need to start the server. So this is an issue like we found in this code, and we will write that code from ourselves. So ChatGPT has given most of the code, but this thing it has made. So these are the issues with AI chatbots, that you need to do some of the stuff from your side. So let's add that code, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to just say, so this is the code. Now let's do what? Let's start the server, and we can say node index.js. So let's start the server, and it is saying server has started at port 3000. Let's go to our browser here and type localhost 3000. So it is giving us some error like fail to look up view index in the views directory. So I think we have missed some step. So basically what we want to do is we want to put this file in our views folder. So let's come here, let's go to this and create a new directory, views, and what I'm going to do, this index.ejs file, I'll put it inside this view folder, do Control C, start the server again, and let's go to our browser and hit this. So you can see we can create new to-dos. So I'm just hitting it, so it is not displaying it currently. So this is the first step, that this particular code generated and we are able to run it. Now what we have said, that we want to do the MySQL support. So let's copy this code, and I'll come here again, I'll stop the server, do paste and do npm install MySQL, because we need MySQL dependency to basically connect to our MySQL server. So we have already installed this MySQL server. It is already running on the port 3306, and now what it is saying, that require MySQL package in your index.js file. So we'll come to our code, index.js file, I'll come here, put it at the top. So I'll just say const MySQL require MySQL. Let's do this one, create a MySQL database table and store the to-dos. I'll come to my terminal, and here you can see this is my terminal. Let's connect to our MySQL instance. I'll say MySQL -h 127.0.01, which is the local host, -u is the root user, and -p for entering the password. Let's enter the password, and here I'm inside my MySQL. So here I can say so databases, and you can see that these are the different databases that are present. So I'll be using the self-tuts databases. So I can say use self-tuts. Why I do everything using the command line tool? Because it helps you to remember the command, and in production issues it will really help you. So I don't prefer using some of the graphical user interface tool, but it is up to you. Like you can use some MySQL admin or anything, and you can create these things. So I'll just go to the the browser again, and here you can see I need to create this table. So I'll just copy this code and I'll come to my terminal and I'll paste it here and I will do enter, and it said query is okay. Then I can do what? I can do show tables. Okay, and it will say this one. I can say describe to dos, and it will give you the description of this to dos table. So it has id field, text field, and completed what we have entered. So let's come here, and the next thing is what? Create a new connection to your MySQL database. So I'll copy it, I'll come to my code again here, and basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste that command here. So this is my connection. This is the connection string which will basically create a connection to my MySQL. So I'll say what is the user. So user will be, I'll use root user. You can use whatever user you have in your MySQL, and then the password is password, and the database name is basically self-tuts. So this is the authentication parameters for my MySQL database. So this is the connection that we have already built. Let's come to the next step. It is saying connect to the MySQL databases. So we need to copy it and we need to place it here. So let's come here. I'll say command V. So what it is doing, it is basically doing connection.connect, and finally you can separate these things in different files, but what ChatGPT has given us, it has given us the whole commands or whole text into a single file, so we can separate it also. The next step is like we'll create a function which says function get to dos, and this is a callback where it is writing the query select star from to dos. Let's copy this code and we'll again paste it here. So this is get to dos and then add to dos. So basically for adding the to do data, I'll just paste it here. And now what it is saying, update the app.get route to retrieve the to dos from the database. So I'll just copy it and I'll come to my code here, and this is what app.get. So I'll just copy it here and I'll paste everything here what I've copied from my browser. For the post command also, I'll just copy it, I'll come here and I'll paste it. And then finally let's add this delete API also. So in the index.js, what I'm going to do, I'll just copy this command and I will come here at the bottom and I'll paste it here. So I have all the three commands created now. Three APIs like delete API, post API, and get API, and MySQL support is also there. Let's start the server and check how it is working. So node index.js, so it will start here, and then it is also saying connected to MySQL database. So let's go to the MySQL instance and first see what is there in the table. So it is select star from, what is the table name, to dos. So it is empty, so it is saying empty set. Now let's go to our browser, come here, reload this application, and it got successfully reloaded. And I will say new to do is learn ChatGPT from self-tuts. So let's say you are creating this to do, I'll hit add command, and here you can see that there is issue, like it is not showing as of now because it has reloaded. We'll fix it in later videos, but let's see like it is able to add the to dos or not. So this is my second to do. Now let's go to our database and again fire this command, and here you can see the magic, like it is adding learn ChatGPT from self-tuts 0 add the to dos or not. This is the second to do that we have added. So we have seen that there is a problem with the code that ChatGPT generated. Like here we are not able to see the actual to do that we have written. So let's fix it. I'll go to the WebStorm, come here and let's see, because this is being rendered from the EJS file. So let's go to index view index.ejs, and here you can see that all the to dos that it is getting. So it is doing a loop and this just printing the to do. If we go to our MySQL, we can see that the to do has properties like text and completed. So we'll just print the text here. So we'll come here and say text and just save this file and then basically restart the server. So let's go to the terminal again, do Ctrl+C, let's restart the server. Let's go to the browser again, reload it and see the moment like we are getting the text. Let's add a new text like I want to read 10 books this month. So I can just say add to do, and here you see this is the new to do. So if you can see here that this is a very bare minimum to do list, or like there is no CSS applied here, there's nothing. You can give new commands to the ChatGPT prompt, like add a new CSS, add new pages, new forms, anything, and it will try to add everything here. We have not tested the delete command, anyhow we have added it, the delete API, but we have not tested it. So you can test it using this. I'll share this code in the repository and you can test it. So this is what the ChatGPT gives us, but we have found some of the issues, like there was no command to start the server, then there was no command to basically like the EGS didn't get updated. So there are a few issues, but you can see like by just giving it a command prompt, it is giving you all the details. And also when you're saying that add the database support, add these things, so it is basically changing the response based on your demand. So it's just like a human interaction, like you're talking to some other developer and asking them to do the changes. So you can see how powerful the ChatGPT is. So this was all about this video. We'll create more cool stuffs, more projects using ChatGPT. So stay tuned to all the videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share these videos with other people. Thank you.